Alright, Hoyos, Inside Game here as always, bring you another episode of the Arena Week, and today we're going to look at it's still Holy Paladin Rogue, and we are up against, whoops, let me turn off the sound here, there you go, and we're up against a Holy Paladin Rogue. Now you can see straight away my Rogue is getting extremely low. I put guard in and I heal him up, this is actually a 40-minute fight. It almost went to draw. I believe it was closer to 50 minutes actually. So this is an extremely long fight. And yeah, I'm just going to comment parts of it. So we can see my rogue is getting some. Excuse me. He's getting some decent pressure on the paladin. The paladin is sitting fairly low, and the paladin is dropping more than my rogue, so we are sort of winning at the moment. But the usual strategy is my rogue go on the paladin, and the other DPS go on me. But since the feral is on my rogue, he does a lot of peeling and a lot of cyclones and such, and roots and all that. So my rogue isn't getting like maximum amount of damage on the paladin. But the druid usually uses his cyclones on me, and he's got I believe he's got wall stomp. The druid and the paladin has wall stomp. The paladin has rebuke, and the druid has 3 cyclones, I believe, and feral charge. So it's a lot of interrupts and CC. So it's a bit of a dangerous combination, and you can't bubble out of cyclones, so it makes it a very dangerous CC sort of. And yeah, the feral is staying on my rogue, which is extremely annoying. Excuse me, because to be honest, we usually win if the other DPS goes on me, because I usually survive a lot longer than the opposing team's healer, and I think the healer is going to stun me over there, and I just instantly trinketed it, because when the paladin stuns me, you can see my rogue is getting low, and their plan was to stun me, and after 5 seconds the feral would cyclone me. But if I trinket the stun straight away, the feral goes like, "Oh, I'm not ready to cyclone. I thought you stunned him." Like, yeah, I did, but he trinketed straight away. So that usually throws off people. So if you're extremely fast on the spelling things, you might avoid sort of the next CC that was incoming. If you get where I'm going with this. So it looks like a pretty boring fight so far. I set the paladin in focus. Oh, excuse me, right there, and yeah, extremely boring fight so far. You see us use a smoke bomb, I believe it's called, and my rogue is dipping low like quite often, and you will see that throughout this fight that they are actually pretty close to killing my rogue a lot of times, and that is because cyclones are extremely. I mean, 3 cyclones followed by double war stomp, followed by a feral stun, followed by a rebuke. I mean, that's a lot of freaking CC and interrupt. So you can see my rogue is getting low a lot of times, but he's got it under control. You know, he has vanish, he has cloak, he's got recuperate, so he's healing a lot, etc. etc. But the lame thing is that it's not like the paladin is not losing any mana. I'm not losing any mana. The feral isn't going low. My rogue isn't going low, and it's basically it's a very lame situations, and this fight does end up being almost 15 minutes long, and you can see why. The paladin actually used Holy Radiance there, which I find very weird, because you do not want to use Holy Radiance in this situation, because that's a huge waste of mana. I have no idea why I did it, but you know. So he's following me around, him or her, he or her, yeah. And I guess he's trying to get a rebuke on me, or something like that. But it's gonna excuse me, but you know, it will never happen. He's not quick enough to interrupt me. So I'm actually going to fast forward. So at this point, you can see the feral has switched to me, and you can see my mana is dropping, the other paladin's mana is dropping, and it's a much more sort of dynamic fight. There's a lot more stuff going on. It's a lot more interesting, but like I feel like the feral has more damage, but my rogue is extremely dangerous, and he's killed a lot of paladins while we have played. So, and these guys are pretty bad. So we are confident that if the feral druid stays on me, this is a win. Because that paladin is extremely bad. I mean, he's bubbling the entire fight. I don't think I bubble once. Like, it's just the feral is the other paladin is just so much worse than me. I might actually bubble here. That might be the only time I bubble. Like, no, I don't bubble there either. I believe so. I think I actually bubble right here. Actually, yeah, I believe I bubble right here. Because I mean, you never know. Maybe I didn't bubble. Like. I'm trying to avoid bubbling. Obviously, that's what you want to do. But I use other cooldowns. Like, I don't use bubble, but I use aura mastery. Or I don't use bubble, but I use divine guardian. Or no, guardian of ancient king. Sorry. Or like I don't bubble, but I use my battle master trinket. Like. Try and use all cooldowns before you bubble, because you really just have to save that bubble, because you can save it for later when you might have needed it. But the problem with this matchup, like, or paladin DPS versus paladin DPS, is that paladin has so many bubbles, and versus a melee player they have twice as many bubbles. I mean, we have 3 bubbles, so we will always have a bubble that we can use. So basically, it's impossible to get a kill unless you get lucky, because if my rogue gets into bubble or I bubble, I will have another bubble up. By the time I need to bubble again, I have the bubble, and so. I can hear. And so it's extremely hard to kill a paladin as a melee. But you can see the paladin is struggling a lot. We are sitting at the same amount of mana, I believe, but I'm not bubbling, and he's bubbling a lot. So at this point, we're just hoping that the feral druid stays on me, because that way we will win probably. So yeah, I'm gonna probably fast forward. Sorry that I'm doing this, but it's really no point in actually. You can see how long the fight is. It's 44 minutes and 16 seconds. So I've skipped to a point where the paladin is beginning to struggle. He's bubbling so much, and his skill is really not he's not skilled enough to survive this, and I'm not even bothered. Like. The feral druid jumps on me, he realises he can't do anything, and it just goes back to my rogue. Like, we're just completely outplaying them at this point. You can see the feral druid he has to peel his paladin, but he also wants to stay on me, and that's impossible. I mean, you can't be cycloning a rogue, protecting a paladin, and kill me at the same time. I mean, we're not that bad. So the paladin is sitting full on mana, but mana is not an issue for holy paladins. It's you can die with 100% mana. There's nothing wrong with that. So the paladin's getting low, and at this point I'm probably going to stun the paladin, because I usually stun the paladin when he's at 50, 60k HP. But he got a heal, so I didn't bother. But next time the paladin will go low, I believe I'm going to bubble him. No, stun him, and we are going to get a very good rotation in. So the paladin is struggling a lot. I'm probably going to free him myself and get over there, or something like that. I'm probably going to go over there, and I'm going to stun the paladin. And you can see the paladin is just struggling so much, and we get a couple of lucky crits, and bam, he's dead. And yeah, the fight is over. Now at this point, I believe it was it's actually 2 minutes or like 1 minute away from a draw. So at this point, it can actually become a draw if the druid stays alive for long enough. But I'm not going to show you the couple of minutes he stays alive. So yeah, that was about it for this video, and yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.